Now, the Employment and Labor Relations Court has issued a conservatory order stopping the vetting of 51 principal secretaries by the National Assembly. Justice Nzioki Makau gave the order pending the hearing and determination of a petition before the court. The names of the PS nominees should not be presented to Parliament. According to Makau, serious issues have been raised by the applicant, the Law Society of Kenya, touching on the disparity, ethnic and gender balance. The Law Society of Kenya had moved to court saying the nomination of the 51 PSs did not meet the criteria and aspirations of all Kenyans was not inclusive. LSK further sued the Attorney General, the National Assembly and the Public Service Commission, which conducted the nominations of the 51 PS nominees.
It is pursuant to Head of State's agreement and resolution to the East African countries to engage in DRC. So we are not doing it unilaterally. The countries agreed, the Head of State's agreeing. So the Commander-in-Chief in our country is doing what he's doing is in pursuant to that agreement. But nevertheless, the other countries are already engaged. In fact, South Sudan, I think, is already engaged. Burundi is already engaged. Rwanda is already engaged on their side of the boundary. Uganda as well. The only country that is not as engaged as we speak, and I'm sure they would, and that is within their domestic discussion, is Tanzania. So it's not a unilateral decision. It is a shared responsibility within the East Africa, and we're just doing what we agreed to do. And as I said, the DRC question, the decision we made and took as a country is the right one.
On the situation of migrant workers, Kenyans who are working in other countries, particularly Saudi Arabia. I think number one, what we will do differently, or rather, if I may characterize the problem, it is my understanding that part of the problem actually starts here. It starts with the way in which they are sourced, the way in which they're processed, the terms in which they're employed, amongst others. So the number one thing that we must really do, Mr. Chair, is to make sure that from the Ministry of Labor, that we are very, very clear about what are the terms of engagement for our work, for our citizens who are working in Saudi Arabia and other countries.